Okay, so it sounds like pretty tight family. Is it safe to say that since you're the youngest, and I'm the youngest in my crew too, is it safe to say that your brothers and sisters were your main influences coming up as far as competition, or just overall influences for you?
Overall influences, because both of my brothers played basketball, so I really wanted to be like them. And my oldest brother, Ralph, he went to Xavier University, lives in Cincinnati now, but he was like really a good basketball player, so I really wanted to be like him or better.
Mm-hmm.
So that, being around him every day and people telling me how good your oldest brother is and stuff like that, that kind of made me say, I got to work on my game and get better.
Exactly. And being the youngest, I definitely know all about that. It does nothing 100%. But put a burning desire in you. Hey, that's what's the name, little brother? That's what's the name, little brother? But you want to turn that into, exactly. I'm me, I'm Dion, or I'm Kurk.
Yeah.
So I get that all the way. Now, you spoke about Lafayette Projects. Growing up in Lafayette Projects, how was that growing up in that age? Was it 70s, early 80s? How was it growing up in Lafayette Projects, the experience?
Early 70s, you had guys like Muggsy Bogues, Reggie Williams. You had a lot of guys who were really good basketball players, and like I said, we played basketball all year round. The rec centers was open back then, so we played. We had house leagues. They had BNBL, Project Survival.
And that was in your project? All of those guys you named were in your project?
Yeah, they grew up right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So watching them play, and my oldest brother playing with them, and being around them, and back then you wanted your own identity too as you got older.
Absolutely.
Like we just talked about that's Ralph's little brother, that's little Kurk. So I was like, man, I can't wait till I get older. But anyway, yeah, growing up in the projects here out back, man, it was really hard because sometimes you couldn't get on the basketball court unless it was only 4 people. Mm-hmm. And I always used to go and watch, sit on the fence, sit on the ground, and just watch the older guys play. And I said to myself, one day, hopefully I'll get a chance to play with them guys. Yeah. And eventually I did. So that was real key. And, back then growing up, I tell people all the time, other families raise you.
Okay.
So if you go to John Doe house and you did something wrong, it was okay for that parent to correct you. And it's like out on the basketball court. If you was out there doing something you had no business doing, it was okay for an older guy to put you in your place. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, we don't need that. No fighting, no fussing. No, we playing basketball. And I say that was really a key growing up, that other families raise you while your father was at work. And that's the difference now in growing up today, that you see that parents don't let other parents raise you, help out raising you when you're not around. Because now, being in this center for 18 years, I see that, if you correct the kid, you got to go through all these steps and all these scenarios and stuff like that. So the most important thing was other people raising you and helping you along the way. And it has helped me out a lot to see that all these people that helped me along the way. And that's why I'm giving back now to my community where I grew up at, and to the kids that come in the center. And when I tell my story about how I grew up in the projects, we didn't have a lot of money. My mom worked 2 jobs. Sometimes I had to wear my oldest brother's clothes, shoes, or whatever, until things got better. But that helped along the way, because when you got family now, you got kids now, you want them to have a better life than you had when you was growing up.
Absolutely.
So that was one key component that my mom taught me. Hey, when you get kids, you can raise them the way you want to raise them. Then you can see why I'm raising you the way I'm raising you. And I always just say, my mom be so hard on us. And you say, you're going to be the same way with your kids, because you don't want them to step out of line. Because you give a kid an inch, he going to take a yard. So
that's a fact. Okay. And, it's kind of like a parallel that you say when you give that story back to the kids around here. A lot of the times they don't get to see the people on TV, but the people that are right around in their community, if they see they got the same story, parents working 2-3 jobs, dad in and out, stepdad in the house, because I'm a product of step parent as well. Mm-hmm. All of these things shape who you are now, and they see you as a stand-up character. And having that to follow and see all the time is just a beautiful thing, man. And this is the main reason why I wanted to do this with you, because that's something that I noticed over the years. Mm-hmm. You really give back. You really make sure you try to take care of the community as best as possible. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, like I said, you're growing up in Lafayette Projects. Me being from Anne Arundel County, Annapolis primarily, looking at Baltimore, it's always seemed to be like a rough and rugged situation. Now, with this show, like I always say, and like I told you in the beginning, we try to adapt and find the gifts. Now, how early was it that you identified that you had this gift, or was it already there because of your brothers and how the basketball was already laid out for you? Or did you figure out at a certain age that you had a real gift at basketball, like early on?
No, it came with a lot of practice, man. My mom used to be really upset with me, man, because I used to go out in the rain and come back with dirty, wet clothes, man. I used to go out in the snow and just shoot, because sometimes I was a loner. You know, back then, some of my friends didn't like basketball. Like, I loved it. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends were football players. Some of my friends were baseball players. So I tried each sport growing up at Lafayette Project, and that kept us busy. Mm-hmm. Well, we ain't playing our sport. We over in the rec center playing pool. We couldn't get on the basketball court. We were playing pool, bumper pool, ping pong, until we got an opportunity to play on that basketball court with the older guys, or when they left. So I think it came with a lot of practice, man, and a lot of people helped me along the way. A lot of my young coaches, growing up young, but all of my mentors who was my coaches growing up, man, they helped me out a lot, man. And you know, these days, I was just telling a kid yesterday, back then, man, when I was growing up, we had no personal trainers.
Right.
We had no personal. It was you on a team, and you get your training with your team. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no coach taking 30 minutes out of his practice time, because you only got an hour and a half, 2 hours of practice back then. And you don't get what you need to get within that 2 hour time slot, you better do it on your own. And that's mostly what I used to do. I used to go on the court and shoot. Me and my buddies, we used to play 21, 500, just different games, you know, that the kids still play these days, but we didn't get a personal trainer. I said, man, if I had a personal trainer that taught me by myself individually, I did all this by myself after practice. Coach taught me, but I had to still go out and practice it. So when you asked the question about a gift, no, I didn't know I had a gift until I got older and really start playing with the older guys and got the confidence that was instilled in me was from the older guys picking me. Mm-hmm. So when I go on the basketball court, I'm the youngest guy. It might be 17, 18-year-old dudes out there. I'm 12, 13 years old playing with these older guys, and they picking me.
Absolutely.
So when you said about a gift, I didn't know that until I got 16, 17, mm-hmm. and as I got to a junior, senior high school, then I'm saying I can play this game. I can go make some money, hopefully one day, but I got to stay on track.
For sure.
And that's when parenting came involved. My mom kept us on track from day one, mm-hmm. growing up at Lafayette Projects, like I said, and being raised by other families, and you having your grandfather in your life, you having your brothers and sisters, you know, in your life, you having people next door neighbors in your life that's helping you along the way too. So having a gift, man, I thank God, because without God, I would have never knew I had a gift or anything like that, or had the opportunity to show I had a gift.
Absolutely.
So doors opened for me, you know, as I got older, and they say you open the door, you walk in that door to see what's in that door, and that's what happened to me, man. I kept walking in them doors that kept opening for me, playing with older guys, getting the opportunity. When I got on the court with older guys, I did my best. And when I did my best, I say always, if you did your best, then you can't have nothing to complain about.
Absolutely. So you're right about that. Mm-hmm. So now at this point, you're still young and you're heading towards high school, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I ask everybody this question, from Jamar to all of the players that I've had on the show. When you're going to high school, you try to find something. I mean, for us, like, we had our brothers, but you try to find somebody or something to get you motivated. Mm-hmm. Was there someone, a player or something that you were trying to get away from in order to continue to push yourself to work harder? Was there a player, or is there somebody that was like, quote unquote, ranked above you that people liked more? Was there a person that was like that for you?